All right, so guys, he's going straight into trading right away. Look at that EU long. You're in the same trade, Alex, right?
Yeah, I'm about to get into a tasty position on FTN.
FTN.
I'm long GU.
GU?
Yeah. Oh, pump it.
Right.
Yeah.
Pump it. Should we just...
I should have gone on with size on this one. I'm only up 200 on this one.
Okay,
you know, guys,
total degen. I'm going to put my stop a bit further away by the looks of it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to move my stops up here on EU. I think it's time to move it closer to that wick below right here. So I'm going to move it up to that one. Just limit the losses a little bit. What's this? Why do we have to accept that one? Okay, that's good. That is good. All right, how are you guys doing? What trade management? I use one called position. It's called position sizer. It's actually like it's just go to just Google MT5 position size calculator, and you're gonna get it. All right, Victor is sharing his screen. No, it's gone. Okay, back to mine. So we're currently yesterday, guys, I had a trade on EU. I did close the trade on EU. You know this trade right here. I went short here on the breakdown, and honestly, I closed it for a small profit, and honestly, it felt just so weird because I was in and long on Bitcoin. Let me show you this, guys. Look at that. Boom. This is the trade I was in yesterday as well. It started moving, and I'm like, I shouldn't be short EU and long Bitcoin at the same time. But guys, look at this. This is such a simple textbook trade. Reclaim range EQ for move up to range high. This is what I'm saying. Like when you learn market structure, when you understand horizontal levels, trading becomes simple. You look at ranges, you look at trends. It's just horizontal levels. You reclaim one, you go to the next one. Simple stuff. But I did feel honestly like I felt intuitively right. Like the market is just risk on. I shouldn't be long EU, but I should be long Bitcoin. So I closed the EU trade. I kept the other ones open. I kept AUD NCD open. I kept USD CAD open. Let's take a look at AUD NCD. This one I really did not feel great about, but look at it now, right? After entering this one yesterday, we had a breakdown, but now that bounce, look at that bounce, beautiful. Where do you guys think that bounce is? I'm going to be adding the fibs while I'm adding the fibs. No, that's the 618. That's 0.618 right there. Look at that. That is perfect. Right there, 0.618 right there. And this stuff happens so often. It's just insane. So add that 0.618, guys, to the chart. So right now we do have what I talked about this yesterday. If we get a pattern like this, that would be golden, right? So AD NCD trade is active. I got the USD CAD one. I went long USD, which is not a in current situation, current conditions, not a good idea. Not a good idea. But looking at the overall picture of this one, hit high time frame support. I just want to be long here based on technicals. I really want to be long here. It's a weekly level, it's a daily level. I'm just gonna stay long. I like it from a technical.
Trade what you see.
Yeah, so AD NCD, I'm gonna open a new position on AD NCD, depending on where this 4-hour candle is closing, because I am in with I calculated the lot sizes incorrectly, so I need to open another position which is similar size, which I might.
You're waiting for price to come to your entry to get the extra position in.
No, obviously I guess I should have entered that one here, but what I'm looking for now is, we still have resistance here, right? So if I if I enter a new trade right here, I'm basically buying resistance, aren't I? Kind of feels like I'm just buying resistance here. So what I'm waiting for is maybe we could just get above, get above, maybe break and retest, something like that, and that would prompt me to enter rest of the position.
So you're getting in not at the same entry price. You're not looking to get into the same entry price. Right, to correct your lot size difference.
That's right. Thank you, Victor. That's actually very correct. Actually, very correct. You know what? God, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna open another one here. AD&CD. Where is it? AD&CD right here.
EU rejection. That is not what I want to be seeing.
Okay, so AD&CD is a 0. So I'm just gonna do 0.4. Market buy. I'm gonna adjust the TPs and everything. EU, I'm in a loss on EU. That's not good. What happened with that one?
Yeah, that just rejected.
Okay.
Not a very nice rejection as well. Not a good place to have a rejection.
Yeah. Okay. That is
quite a strong rejection as well.
Yeah, I'm closing that one. No way I'm staying in this one. I'm closing that EU trade.
Some strong movement on GU since the hour, the flip of the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good idea though. Like on the 15-minute, that looked really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm in. Hold on. Oh god, I've got too many charts open. Yo, got too many accounts open, and I'm gonna keep this just because it is just set and forget, and I'm just gonna keep messing with my edge if I just close this. So it is what it is. Yeah. Live by the sword, die by the sword. It's probably the most stupid thing that I can say, but
in trading, that's
but we are surviving.
I need to get my orders in for. Sometimes when I'm, when I see price moving, I know what my position size is going to be, but I don't have time to put in the stop loss and TP. Sometimes I actually forget about putting in those in, so it's important to remember to actually do that. So AD&CD, this one would be stop loss, putting that one in. We got TP. Okay, so today we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about EMAs, trading with EMAs. I think that's going to be a topic that we can all talk about. So I'm not going to do a specific presentation. I think that's just going to be the main subject of today's live stream is moving averages. And I know that Alex has a lot of experience with trading with moving averages, and so do I. And I think everyone that's been in the market for a couple of years know what EMAs are, and they've tried them out, and either you love them or you hate them,
Yeah, I too. I started with EMAs. I mean, that's one of the basic things everyone learns, right? From the first indicator you learn is one of those. First one is the EMAs, either MAs or EMAs, but it's the simplest strategy. The first strategy I learned was EMA crossover or MA crossover.
Yeah,
I think most of us started that way. If you started with baby pips or some other basic fundamental on technical analysis.
That's right. I've never seen that working though. EMA crossover.
No, me neither. It could maybe like a component of a bigger system, because it does trigger you in the sense it does give you signals when the trend may be different, may be changing, but it's not enough. Yeah. Like that on its own doesn't give you, like how they show it on baby pips, where you get in at the cross and you close at the opposite cross. That's break even at best. So you gotta have more filters in, and actually different things, not just MA's crossover. I haven't been able to make it work. And
Yeah.
I think that's
No,
that's
it's
be- that's why it's so popular, because it's very simple, but it's not it doesn't really work.
Just trying to think, have I got tunnel vision on Euro going to break up? Just trying to think.
before we continue, I want to talk
Break
about
down?
No, have I got tunnel vision that I think it's going to continue to break up even after we've got a
Break
move
up.
like
Okay.
this?
No, I think if you look at the bigger picture, if you look at my chart here, you look at the 4 hour. What's happening on the 4 hour? Well, it's a bounce on the inside the wheel zone. So on the 4 hour, we did came down, did test the 0.618 multiple times. So on a 1 hour, it's still in. We've broken this structure right here. We've came up. Maybe we'll see retest down here and then up. So on EU, I mean, wouldn't be surprised to see EU move higher. That trade that I took though is that one's gone. I've closed that one for loss, which is unfortunate. And honestly, guys, I shouldn't have taken that trade. Like that's not the way I'm trading. Like what am I doing? I'm trading the 50.
That was a good trade.
It was a good trade though, but it's not my trade. You know what I mean? Like it's a good trade. I saw it. I took it. But it's like
I love the way that you shouted me out. You were like, Alex, you're kind of set up on the 15-minute. It was like, yeah, straight away. That was my kind of setup.
Yeah. Right before the live stream, I pulled all the screens up and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's an Alex setup right there. And actually, let me show you what I saw. I saw, I think we can do a clean shot here, and then you know what? Maybe this one. This one is cleaner. Yeah, so we'll look at the Euro USD on the 15 minutes, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about as well. It's fairly good system when trading EMAs, especially in the forex market. I've went through this. I've looked at the. By the way, guys, don't forget to like the video. I see that the likes are going up, and let's continue hitting that like. So what I do is I add, if I'm going to be trading with EMAs, if I'm going to have strictly an EMA system, this is a good way of finding entry triggers. Now, I want to show you one indicator. Now, I have 3 indicators on here, which is the 21, the 50, and the 100 EMA. There are indicators on here with combinations. I know one is there's one where you have 5 EMAs and 5 SMAs. Those are good. You can also have indicators with 10 EMAs together. But if we add this one, you'll see that we'll get quite a lot of EMAs on here. So if you have a TradingView subscription that maybe you don't have a paid subscription to TradingView, you can't add many indicators, but you want to be trading with EMAs. I mean, if you're trading, you're probably making money, so you probably have some money to afford a lower tier subscription to TradingView. But if you can't afford that, having an indicator like this is good. Or maybe you don't want to have as many indicators on the chart. So you can go in here and you have 5 EMAs and then 5 SMAs. But we can add, for example, I just wanted to show you that, but I have my indicators on here. So I got the 21, the 50, and the 100. And in terms of entry triggers, this is great. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the 3 EMAs are nicely fanned out like this. There's space between them, right? At the 21, the 50, and the 100. You want to make sure that it's like they're nicely fanned out and price is riding the EMA wave, almost like you're surfing a wave, right? And every bounce on either of these EMAs is a possible entry. So what I want you to do is when you're trading EMAs, let me show you this. Imagine that you have a horizontal level like this. You want to look at the EMAs as dynamic support and resistance. Imagine if you have a horizontal level like this and it moves with the EMA. So this is what it looks like. That's you want that back of your head. With that EMA line, there's a invisible horizontal level. I think that's a great way of treating these EMAs, is to look at them as dynamic support and resistance. So a evolving horizontal level that's not moving with price, but moving with the moving average. And then you come down and you see right here, when you had the level on that one, you had that retest. And that's also retest of that horizontal level, where you have good confidence between the EMA and price action level. But this is actually a great example where you have price hitting the 21 EMA. You get the 21, the 50, and the 100 evenly, nicely fanned out. So that's the very simple way of trading EMAs, just going long in an uptrend whenever you have the bounces on these EMAs. Let's see if I think Euro USD is not the best example for this. I haven't had the best success with Euro USD, and maybe not on the 15 minute, but what you want to see is when price is coming in and hitting a, for example, the 21 EMA, you want to look for 3 things. Actually, it could be more things, but you want to look for simply a reversal candle or reversal pattern. That could be engulfing candles. And if it weren't for Victor, I wouldn't have said outside bars, but definitely after seeing Victor going through everything, I would definitely consider an outside bar, as he likes to put it, the engulfing bar on steroids, right? So engulfing or outside bars or pin bars or whatever, just a top formation. So it could be, use the replay function here, it could be this one right here. I think if I see this on the 50-minute, that bearish candle right here where you kind of break down, I think that would be a good looking signal to go short for me. And then what I would do here is I would place the stops either above above that wick, but preferably you want to be able to put your stop loss right above the swing point. So if that's the swing point, right? That's where price comes in and then swings down to the downside. And you want to be able to put your TP at the last local low. Now, depending on your win rate, you don't have to have a high risk to reward, okay? Because when you have a structure like this, usually you will a lot of times come down and test this area. And it does require a lot of testing. You have to back test it and see what results you're getting. We will all get different results, especially when we're looking at entry triggers from a discretionary point of view. We will get different results. I could tell you that you're probably going to get around 30 or 40% win rate, but some people might get over 50% win rate, might be 60% win rate, and in that case you are fine with a fairly low risk to reward. So even like this one, 0.64, and then price, you almost helped me out there, and then it continues lower. So you see right here, even with that move up after the entry, it's still the general idea is still the same. You're creating a swing point with the 21 EMA as the resistance. Now, if you're removing the EMAs and you're going to be trading this from a purely horizontal level trade,
high demand,
you're only getting that wick, right? And if you're waiting for the retest of that level, you would probably want price to come higher and really do something like that. But then when you're adding the 21, you see that actually it's the 21 where most of the rejections happens on. And when you're adding the 50 and 100, you can also trail your stops quite nicely with the 50. So the way I use the 100 is just to confirm that the trend is the way I want it. So I want space between all 3. I'm not really using the 100 in trade management or entry as an entry trigger. I'm mostly looking at that one to confirm that the trend is the way I want it to be. Now, imagine that you have a trading stop loss with the 50. You might want to do something like that as well. So you have an a very low target, and then you're just going to trail your stop down with the 50 EMA, and that's going to look something like this. So maybe you have an open target, right? But you just trail your stop down. So you can have you could have a low TP, that one would be hit right here, or you could just not have a take profit and let your stop loss be your take profit. So you're just going to trail it down with the 50. So now you're in profit, and moves like this, they can continue for quite a while. It would probably been stopped out there, but let's just, for the sake of this, imagine that we're not getting stopped out. Right, so you would be stopped out here. So a trade that we took that one here would have been stopped out there and stopped probably around this area. It's still a 1.21 hour trade with just a trailing stop. But as you can see, there's going to be instances where price continues to ride, continues to move higher quite a lot. I mean, look at this, for example. Imagine that you've now this, okay, so this is not the best example because but again, you could be watching this as you have the 21 crossing below the 50, like it's a good confidence here. Maybe you have other indicators, we can add the reload zone here, and we see it hit the 0.618, and I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm going to enter this trade. So you enter here, stops here, and then you're just going to ride the 50 all the way down. So imagine that the 50 gets hit, or you can do something like a candle close above the 50. That's going to be all the way down here because that's the first candle that actually closes above the 50 after entering the trade. So this would have been a almost 10-hour trade. So you can be using EMAs in a lot of different ways, and they're good ways of using it as entry triggers, trade management, stop loss, trading your stop losses, identifying trends, smoothing out price action to identify good trends. So there's a lot of different ways to be using EMAs. Victor, are you using any EMAs in your trading?
Not in my.
You some comments plan. on your background. Look at that. Victor has a new updated background. Looks amazing, dude. Looks very, very good.
Thank you. No, I don't use it in my trade plan. So I don't look at at the EMAs to either enter, manage, or get out of a position. But what I do know is from being from experience, I know that, for example, when prices, to me, EMAs, what I use it for is to measure the momentum. So when it's trying to break out, it probably will be bouncing off, respecting a couple of EMAs. I like, for example, the 13 EMA on the 5-minute. That, to me, when price is breaking out, is usually it tends to come back and play with that EMA as it goes up. And with news, I use it on the 1-minute, 13 EMA. That is 13 EMA on the 1-minute with news. And with structural breakouts on the 5-minute, but I don't use it. I have used it in the past to trail my entries, and it does trail well. But in the end, it doesn't suit me. I didn't get the best. My best rules were based on order blocks, so that's what I use instead of the EMAs. So I target the order blocks instead of trailing it with EMAs. But you could for sure make a case to use EMAs, and I'm sure you can make it work because it's a reflection. The same, it's a lagging indicator. That's the bad thing, but it is a reflection of how price have been moving, and if you have different EMAs on your screen and it's respecting, for example, the 50 instead of the 21, then it says something about the trend. If it's respecting the 21, it says that the trend is even stronger, it's even hotter. And when it's respecting the 13, let's say on the 1 hour, those are the good trend intradays that I sometimes I see that I can catch. So it's a good indicator. I like it a lot, but I have it on my screen actually, but I don't use it as a rule, as I said, either to enter, close, or discard a position. I don't. but you could. I think especially the 13 EMA on the 5 minute, depending on your trading style, of course, but on different on the 1 hour as well. They're very. I would recommend anyone to look at their system through the eyes of the EMAs and choose which one tells you the story, because basically that's what it is to me. It's another way of the market telling you something through EMAs, through this indicator. So yes, but I don't. The short answer is I don't use them.
So I'll go through Jonatan and Victor. Jonatan, you've gone through a specific strategy that you like to use, and I know, Victor, that you got it for different confluences. I also use EMAs. I use them every single day. We'll go through a couple of things that I look for, and maybe now I've done a replay, we're going to see if we can catch some back-tested fake trades, okay? So we've got two different trades that I like to find on EMAs. One is a return to the mean kind of trade, and the other is just a break and retest and continuation using market structure. But everything is based with a revert to the mean kind of trade. Everything is based on having a underlying foundation level, because we're trading Forex and everything ranges from 1% up or 1% down, and because there's so much control in the Forex market, you can't have a currency now going 10% or 15% in different directions. It has to stay in specific types of ranges. So how I find the mean of a specific time frame, I would use the 200 EMA. So that is my foundation. Now, if price is under the 200 EMA, I look at the 200 EMA as being the water level. So price is currently underwater. The 200 EMA is the top water level. Now, if price is over the 200 EMA, then I'm looking at the 200 EMA as being the floor, okay? Now, every time that I see price is under the 200 EMA, I'm looking for potential trades for underwater price to come up and have a breather. This is the way I like to explain it. So you see this kind of price action, you see that it's not making any lower lows. This is on a 1 hour time frame, but you can see that it's not making any lower lows. So you can see it's broken up, it's not made any lower lows, it's changing inner structure, and that is the first sign for you to say, okay, inner structure has changed, there could be a change in price action right now. So now you've got something like this kind of price action now. Now this is in the middle of a Wednesday session. This is around about 10 a.m., 10 a.m. So if I'm seeing prices pushed up, it's found support in these areas, and it's found you've got candles that are pin candles. For me, that is a sign to buy straight away. Now I like to use like to use fibs as well. So I would take it. I'd probably actually take it from, in this one's a little bit difficult, but the candle before the last move up. So I would say this one, and I'll take it to the high, and then I'd be looking on to get into the 50. Now you can see this candle here. That was at 10 o'clock on the night, so that probably wouldn't be one. But I can see anyway coming in here, you've got a little bit of price action just to show that we're holding support. Now all the trade is if it's holding support, I'm going to take price back up to the 200 EMA. So a trade would be something like that, something like that.
I'm going to have to interrupt you, Alex. I'm sorry about that. We got CAD CPI coming out in 1 minute, and I do have an open CAD trade. So let's just take a look at this one, and we'll see, because obviously this is not a major news event for the USD, but still the Canadian dollar is a major currency, and whatever happens in Canada, in especially now with the inflation numbers and everything, it is going to affect the overall market, and especially the trade that I do have open right here on USD CAD. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Let's drop down to the 5 minute, because we do have news coming out in about 5 seconds. So let's see what we get. Now, obviously, I'm hoping for an insanely huge pump to the upside. Is fill my TP instantly. Well, so
It's a
far
nice
so
move
good.
up.
It's a nice move, which means it's going to
Yep.
reverse and take me out. Never trust a moving candle.
Wow.
It's an 18 pips move. First
Yeah.
reaction.
Okay, I like the reaction on some of the other cryptos.
Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is moving higher, so this is nice. You know, I was actually looking to go short on Bitcoin just because of the fact that it's you know, at the range highs, and I think this level below at around 67K is just so beautiful. But I think when it comes to forex, it would make perfect sense to short this. You know, because like you said, forex pairs, they're not just going to explode to the upside. They're not going to, well, you know, they can, but most likely they're ranging, right? But Bitcoin is just a whole nother thing. It's it can absolutely just break out and go absolutely insane. So to short Bitcoin after a move like this, you would have to have a good confirmation. We'll see. Right. So right now, I think. The USD CAD trade, I think far it goes right now looks very good. Just a picture perfect, break and retest, everything aligns with this one. I think this is just yeah, I'm thinking this looks good. I'm currently in. Oh, it's not. Once we got AUD NCD. AUD NCD doing. Oh, you know, it's hanging in there. I still think, I mean, if this daily candle can continue to push up, if the daily candle can just, doesn't have to be like a big candle, but if it just can close as a bullish candle, I'd say that I'm definitely happy with this trade right here. All right, now that the news is, we got the news. Did you want to continue on that trade example, Alex?
Well, it's totally up to the audience. It depends what if they want to know more, and then I'll go through and we'll do a little bit of back testing and just
yeah. Before we do that, I want to show you. I want to show you an example on AD CAD. Let me show you guys this. This is a recent trade that we looked at in the 5ers Discord, actually. So if you're not in the Discord, make sure that you go to your program dashboard and.
Is this an EMA play or is this a different type of play?
This is an EMA.
Yeah, go for it.
So there's the best, at least for me, like EMAs are, you know, a foundational part of the way I'm trading. I started trading with like pure price action, almost like actually that's pretty much the way I'm trading now. With swing trading, I'm just using pure price action, but I've kind of like come full circle. You know, I started with pure price action horizontal levels, and then I went through this whole journey, and it took me back to pure price action horizontal levels. But I did, you know, I still trade very, you know, I still look at EMAs. I still look at this type of system. And when I started developing my personal trading style and my personal system, I added moving averages, and I did try a lot of different EMA combinations. I did find that the 20 and the 50 and the 100 EMA were my go-to EMAs, and then I removed the 100 because I actually didn't use it that much, but I did use the 20 and the 50. And what I found is using EMAs only work, but when you use them in combination with other indicators and price patterns, they work very well. So when I add, for example, you can see I have a horizontal level right here. You can add the 50 EMA. That's the gray one right here, and then we're going to be adding the 20. So that's the blue one right here. So now you see two EMAs, one 20 and 150, and then you have a horizontal level below here. Now, this is a really cool setup because what we can do here is we can add the fibs on that low to this high, and this gives us the high time frame fibs, or the fibs of that move. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into style here. I'm going to be adding the 50, and I'm going to be removing everything else, so you only have the 50. And so what I'm doing here is I'm using something called fib confluence, where I'm adding different fibs on different time frames and looking for areas where there's confluence between the fibs. So this is the 50% fib on the 4 hour. We now know that that 50% fib is confluent with that horizontal level. What I want to do is I want to go into the 1 hour. I want to fib this move as well. So what I do on here is I put a fib on, I select the reload zone template, and we see that we got fib confluence. We got confluence between the low time frame fib and the high time frame fib. So this is the area of confluence. So not only do we have fib confluence, we have horizontal level as well. But what's interesting about this is at 20 EMA, as you'll see, has huge significance to this trade. So without the 20 EMA, this trade would be nothing. And also you see that I got the stochastics RSI on the screen as well. I want that stochastic RSI to be below 30 if I'm going to go long. So what we're waiting for here is the same thing as I showed in the previous trade example. We're looking for some type of reaction here, a bullish engulfing outside bar, a pin bar, a double bottom, whatever. You see some type of reaction that tells me that, yeah, we're ready to go higher. That's the hit of the 20 EMA, the 0.618. But notice how we're front running the horizontal level. And that's the bullish engulfing candle. So we did come down and we did hit the horizontal level, but if you're trading only on horizontal levels, you probably want to move a little bit lower. But now with the EMAs added, or the 20 EMA added, we know that our area of interest is the 20 EMA. So we got that 4-hour bullish engulfing candle. We got stochastics as well in down here. But the interesting part about this, and this is why EMA makes everything so simple. What happens if I remove everything? So what happens if I remove the stochastic RSI, I remove the horizontal level, I remove that fib, I remove that fib, and all we have, we can't even remove the 50. All we have is the 20 EMA. We'll be entering on the bullish engulfing candle, stops below the structure that created the entry trigger, and then TP at the high. This is where EMAs become so useful because it removes the noise. So if you're looking for, EMA confluence, that's good. But if you can try to strip your chart of everything and just focus on the things that are working, a lot of times you'll find that the EMAs are actually, in a system like this, the EMAs are what's in focus. And if you can use less indicators, that's good. Just an example of where just fairly advanced TA comes down to just one line, just one EMA. Why are we using EMAs and not simple or smoothed? Well, basically, why are we using EMAs and not SMAs? So the difference between SMAs and EMAs are a 21 simple moving average, a 21 SMA. Basically, it looks at the last 21 candles and then calculates the average price. That's it. That's the calculation. But on EMAs, half of those candles are calculated as a simple moving average, and the rest, I think the rest of the half are they put more emphasis on the most recent candles. Yeah, so they put more emphasis. Yeah, exactly. So more emphasis on the most recent candles, which means that the EMAs will react quicker to price changes. Now, why do we use EMAs and not SMAs? It has nothing to do with the calculations. It all comes down to what works and what doesn't work. What has worked in back testing, what works in forward testing. That's all it is. So it's just one could say that it's a personal preference, but I would say that if you're also trading in lower time frames, EMAs tend to work better across all time frames, is from my experience. Look
just
at
going to jump
USD
back
CAD
over.
pumping.
I'm just going to go over and we'll
Yes.
go through again. I'm going to talk about the two different strategies that I use, and then we're going to pick out some see if we can find some setups randomly. So I'm just going to do the replay tool. I'm not going to go too far back because I do want to have lower time frame data as well. Let me get rid of all of the drawings. Okay, so already on the daily, the same, all of these EMAs always just support dynamic support and resistance. Let's go on to now what we can do. I prefer actually looking at a chart that I can find longs better than I can find shorts. So that's why I'm going to invert this particular chart. I'm going to go through and talk about everything. So again, as we mentioned, the EMA is being the level, the mean level, and we're just trading towards that mean level. That's for a revert to the mean type of trade. So let's just, this is going to be on the 1 hour. So we're just going to keep going forward until we find something that we can have a revert to the mean type of trade. Okay, so we've had a break of that initial structure. So we've had a break of this type of structure right here. So let's see what happens. This is at 3 o'clock on the day. Obviously, this is news. So let's go down on the lower time frame. I'm just going to mark out where the 200 EMA on the 1 hour is, and now we're going to go down onto the 15 minute. We can see that's already been touched. Okay, let's continue and to see what happens. Okay. So that's good that we didn't get into any kind of trade there. So we're going to continue. Pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. So now we're seeing that we've had a little bit of a push up. We've broken internal structure. Obviously, you've got this massive part of market, the market structure. So if I want to be fully long on a higher time frame, really I want to see price get above that higher high. But doesn't mean we can't take trades on the lower time frame. So I'm going to go to the 15 minute and see where the EMA, the 200 EMA is on the 15 minute. Brilliant. What do we see here now? We see a consolidation. We see a level, consolidation, break above the level, and now we got consolidation around a 50 fib, coinciding in EMAs. Now, you may have a crosses. Doesn't really matter about the crosses. All it matters about the support and resistance that the EMAs are going to give you. So I'm just going to take my tool. Okay, now we can see we've touched the 50 EMA, and we've found support at a 21 EMA as well. So for me, this is a buy. Now, the only issue I see here is we got non-farm payrolls and unemployment literally in probably a couple of hours. So we're going to see what we can get out of this trade. I'm just going to go and do a buy. Okay. My stop loss, can you put TPs up here? My TP is going to be the 200 EMA, and I'm going to put my stop loss. Depends. You can put your stop loss, like me, I would put it actually under that price action, but just to be safe, I'll put it underneath the, I don't think you can do that, but anyway, I digress. So we're going to continue. We're going to see what happens. Oh no, because it's inverted. 2 seconds. I should be a sell right here. So I'm just going to close this and I'm just going to open a sell because this is inverted. Okay. Whoa. There you go. So we got that 200 EMA touch right there. If I could only go in. We got that 200 EMA touch, and then it can completely continued the opposite direction. Okay, so if you are on a lower time frame and your 200 your take profit is at that 200 EMA, you would have got hit. So we're going to close that. We're going to look for another trade. That is horrible, the fact that they've got those massive execution candles on there. So we're going to continue. Okay, what time is this? This is not my time zone, so I'm just going to continue. We're getting into 6 a.m. Okay, so this is my time zone. So let's have a look here. See, price has had a massive push. It hasn't broken down, or in the fact broken up, because it's inverted. We found support and resistance. Now we're going to go on to the lower time frame. I can see the 200 EMA is up there. You've got massive air. All of this area is just total air. There's nothing here. So that's where I'll be looking for price to fill in this area. So we're going to go to lower time frame, see where the 50 EMA is. Okay, so you've got the 50 EMA up there. So my trade would be towards the 50 EMA. Now, because we've got it so close, and because price isn't really doing anything at the moment, it's still 745. Let's see what price does. Okay, are we going to get anything? Fine. I would like to get into this trade to the 200 EMA. So I'm going to go buy. Oh, not buy. It's got to be a sell because it's inverted. There you go. And it's just turned off the whole thing. Give me 2 secs. Let's start again.
Market is totally tanking since the open of the hour.
Yeah, I know. I think my trade on FTM. That's pound. Wow, I had the stop loss. Thank God I got out of that position. Yeah. GU's not doing anything. I think GU, the pound, is waiting for their interest rate decision, to be honest.
Which is
in the next couple of days. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is New Zealand.
You got check when the interest rate for the pound, or CPI for the pound.
CPI for the pound is tomorrow.
CPI for the pound is tomorrow, and soon we got interest rates for the pound as well. I think maybe, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Let's continue off with this, and let's see if we can actually learn anything from this. This little bit of back testing. Okay, so on the daily, we got to push down. We're going to go to lower time frames, and let's just continue until we can see that we may have a particular trade. Okay, so price is not breaking down. You're coming into the office, you don't see it making any lower lows. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, so you see the 200 EMA is right there, so I'll mark that out. I'd be looking for price to come and take that 200 EMA. Let's see where we are on the 15-minute. We've already had a 15-minute continuation. So what we could
Alex,
do...
your camera's moving.
Oh, mate. The new guy in the office. The new guy in the office. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to take my fibs. Let's have a look where we're at. We're hitting a 50 fib. So I'm gonna long this. Okay. So I'm longing here. I'm gonna get out into this area. I'm not gonna wait for the 200 EMA to be hit. And let's see what happens. Okay, I don't want my computer to move. Okay. There you go. We're just gonna push up. What's gonna happen? My stop loss is gonna be under here, underneath the fib pool. So I'm going to continue. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, that should be out now. I should get out there, so I'm going to flatten that trade. That's one trade. So that's you done for the day. You've just had that push up. I wouldn't be surprised right now if it pushes up and hits the 200 EMA. What time is this? This is at 4 a.m. 7 a.m. This might be a good trade as well. This is the next day. Still 200 EMA still isn't being hit. So we're going to go to the lower time frames. 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute. All of the EMAs are holding. You've had a push up. EMA is held. This is going to be a 50 fib. Okay, so let's trade this as well. So we're going to go buy. Obviously, stops are going to be under here. Let's see what happens. We would have got stopped out on that, definitely. So we're going to flatten. I hope that's flattened. Now we're going to go to the 1 hour. I would still get into this trade, even though we've been taken out. For me, that kind of wick to take out liquidity and held up onto the 50 EMA, for me, that's still a buy. I'm still looking to buy that. So even though I've just been taken out, I'm going to go onto the 5 minute and see what the 5 minute is doing. Let's see if we can get a break up above there. No, we can't. Fine. Then I can say we're safely out of that. Fine. So we're going to continue. No trade at the moment. What time is this? This is not in our time zone that we're trading. 5 a.m. Okay, so you've had news there. You've got a 10 a.m. trade. Probably wouldn't have made that. So on and so forth. I digress. Anyway, I revert to the mean type of strategy. Now, the other type of strategy you got is the break and the retest of a fib level and continuation as well. And you can do that on the higher time frame. For instance, you've got this consolidation right here. This is a really good example. This consolidation here, you've got a massive push down. I would look for a break, a retest of that fib, which would be something like this. You have a break, retest, continuation to hit that fib. So that's what we're going to trade right now. So let's see if we actually get anything out of that. So I'm going to go down again to the 15 minute. We'd want a retest of that area. Okay, that's
the name of the indicator. We got Alvin asking what the name of the indicator is. This is just the EMAs. It's just exponential moving averages. Which one are they?
21, 50, 200. 200 is your base. 21 is your fast moving average for lower time frames, and the 50 is, in the middle of all of those. You can use this on the 1 minute time frame, the same strategy on the 1 minute time frame. Obviously, it's a little bit more dangerous on the 1 minute time frame. You can use it on any time frame. I've used this on the daily, on the weekly, for crypto. It really depends. It's really up to you. So, okay, hold on a second. What's it going like that? So now we're looking at price action. We're going to go here. Stops below this level. Let's see what happens here. Get a push up. Okay, the take profit is going to be here, right here. This is the extension tool. This is how in Forex, this is how I'm getting my targets, because I don't want to hold on to positions for too long. Let's see if we get that. Got news coming up. What is it? Business climate. I don't think it does anything. Keep the trade. Okay, that's not good. What have we got here? Durable goods, month to month. I don't think that's going to do anything either.
We got someone in the comment asking if you can do it live. We've literally just did it live.
I do that every single day live in this live stream.
Yeah. So I think
I'm gonna add to this position as well. So
showing it in a demo environment with replay and trading view and demo is actually better for educational purposes, I think, because when trading live, it's just, we like what I like to do when I'm trading live is just I want to stay quiet, make sure that I do it right,
I'll go through the live position I've got open on FTM, but as you've just seen, we bought the original position. We bought here. It pushed up, consolidated. We've seen price hold here. We've added again, and now it's hit our overall target. You've just seen that live in front of you. So now we can flatten that. We'll look for another position another time. So we'll go to the 1 hour. You've got the 4 hour. See, that is as well. You can't really. I missed this. I was looking on a lower time frame, but there you go. You've got a break, a retest, and a continuation. Now this price it's going to hit the 200 EMA. So maybe we could get into another position to get that 200 EMA on the 4 hours. So I'm just going to mark out where it is on the 4 hour. Let's see if we can get another position on this 4 hour. what time of the day it is. It's 10 o'clock, so this would be a lovely trade. Let's see. This is on a 5-minute, 10 o'clock. Let's see if we've got an EMA. This is quite difficult. I would say I would put it up to there, and I'm going to take this trade. It's hit this area. We could get stopped out, and we may have to get in at a different price, but I'm going to get it anyway, and we're just going to keep pushing it up. Straight out. Okay, so we've lost one. I'm going to flatten it. This is still a long opportunity. Let's have a look.
There's a medium impact news on the dollar coming up in a few minutes. It's a Fed, one of those Fed people having a speech in,
Let me know.
in 4 minutes.
Pause.
It's a medium. It's an orange folder.
Okay. So I'm just going to do this last one, and then we'll swap over to the live trading, and we'll go through what we've got. So getting into this position again, the overall position for the 4 hour, we want it to go up. We want to hit that 200 EMA on the 4 hour. We've just got into the position on the 15. We're just going to shoot up. We have got news, so some people, this can move. So you'd have to be careful with this. There you go. We just got out. So on and so forth. So guys, play with those types of trades. You can see break, retest. This is still, for me, still long, even though you've taken a, there you go. Well, so on and so forth.
I'm opening a trade on NCD USD. Going short.
Yeah, this is a live example why I took this particular trade on FPM using the EMAs. So break, retest, continuation, the trade that we had on yesterday. Let me just put on.
Let me just quickly pull up my screen. I just took a trade on NCD USD. So first I'll just adjust the TPs and stop loss, and I'm gonna break down the trade. And risking 400 on this one. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So we can go back and we can look at the plans from this weekend. So you can see we traded on Friday. Friday we traded here, and basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to see a move down to this level. But I also remember, like, last Friday I had a stream in Discord breaking down all my plans for this week, and I said, we need good confirmation, and a good confirmation here would be like a massive daily bearish engulfing candle. So on Monday, that's how the Monday market closed. So now we're looking at this and we're saying, all right, we get a level right here. So what do we want to see to activate this trade? Well, obviously some type of break and retest of this level. So going down to the 1 hour, we have a clear level here, right? And this is why I entered the trade, because we're now forming this move, and that's the break and retest of that level. So basically it's the daily setup based on high time frame levels for a move back down to the breakout level. It's a clean breakout right here, clean level, untested level, very clear bearish rejection up here, and I'm taking it lower. Now this, I did enter a little bit too early because the one hour candle haven't closed yet. It's going to close in just under 50 seconds. But if you look at the 15-minute, the structure here is very clear. You can see how it's basically this, right? We have a swing point here, and that's the swing point, and that swing point looks like a dolphin. Today's draw, let's see. I'm definitely going to continue drawing that, working on my skills here as a chart artist. No, but that's the trade. That's the idea. It's also sort of a hedge against an open position that I have, because I am also long AUD NCD while being short NCD USD. So if you go back to AUD NCD, it's this trade right here. and if I think only one of these can turn out to be a winner. But if this is a loser, that's going to be
market moving fast after the close of the hour. Something is happening. It's the speech starting, but I don't think it's the speech. It must be something else. Market dropped like 10 pips in a few seconds.
Yeah, well, it can be the CPI numbers, right? We're seeing the market react to the CPI numbers. I mean, I'm going to see if we do have any.
Yeah, I'm going to add to my crypto position, I think.
Oh, EU is it's dumping. I can't believe I went long on this, and I closed my short. Guys, I closed my short from yesterday. I went long, got stopped out on the long, closed my short, and now it's breaking down. I don't care what you're going to say, Alex. Dude. I don't care. It sucks.
Dude. Yeah. It's you did what you saw. It's that's just how it is, you know. Sometimes you're gonna win. Yeah. The only thing that I would say to it, and I did the exact same, is there was the risk that because it didn't make the higher high straight away, it showed a little bit of weakness, but it doesn't mean it was not in play to go long.
I think what it comes down to here is EU. I closed that one yesterday, and that is the first trade in 2 months that did not follow the set and forget. So I remember like saying in yesterday's live stream, kind of like I did feel like I'm kind of getting, you know, maybe a little bit on tilt, not really. I feel like I'm not really in sync with the market, and and the result of that was closing the EU trade too early, and this just again goes to show that my stop loss.
Yeah, where was your stop loss at the time?
On EU?
Yep.
The short.
Yeah, where was the stop loss on the short?
Oh, that's all the way up at 180, almost at 0.9.
It doesn't work.
My GU seems to be breaking down. This is another short opportunity though. This is the GU short. So it's breaking down right now. The problem with this one, it's I want to base it on the 4 hour, and the 4 hour candle just closed, but it can of course be based on the 1 hour as well. So this is it's basically the same trade as EU, just that it's on GU, and I could definitely have a wider stop loss on this one with still having a 3-hour trade. So right now this is where I'm looking at. The Bitcoin,
I just added to my FTM position.
nice.
We'll see if we can push up a little bit more, risking only $100.
There's a question on which time frame we're using on EMAs when we're day trading. I think
I use 1 minute with 15 minutes, 15-minute profit targets.
The thing is, I haven't found a time frame where the EMAs doesn't work. Like the 20 and 50, so far they have worked on all time frames, like from the 1 minute all the way up to the monthly. I'm not trading the monthly, of course, but all the way from the 1 minute to the daily, I've had success with the 20 and the 50, and that's why I use the 20 and the 50, because they're almost universal.
Yeah. I'll show the perfect. I got in a trade. This is one of these spot positions that I bought in crypto off that particular trade. So I'm gonna off that particular setup of an EMA, and it was after this candle right here. This candle, God, trading view. This candle right there off that EMA was one of the reasons why I bought DOT. Now, obviously, this is a long-term bag, but you see instantly you had a 50.
I took that trade as well. You got stopped out though.
So I bought spot position. So I didn't actually trade this on futures, but that would have just been a super nice trade. If you were using the EMAs and stuff, not the EMAs, the fibs, you'll be still in this trade. I'm looking for this to still break up to higher than 13, but that is a target. Definitely 13 is definitely a target on dot. Let's see what's going on with Phantom. Again, another one on Phantom. We've had a retest to the 50 EMA. I'm looking for it to hold and then continue up to break these highs. That's what I'm looking for on Phantom.
Going
Jonatan?
back, Jonathan,
Go-
you said the about the time frames. Which one is best? There's another method as well, as to not fix the time frame and look for the EMAs when they work, but instead you could also have the time frame as the variable and look for when, for example, one way I've been using, not recently, but in the past, one of the ways I used EMAs is to look at which EMAs were being respected. And it doesn't matter if you're going for the fast one or the slower one, but you could go through the time frames and see at the current market condition which EMAs are actually holding. So which one is it respecting? So instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna fix the time frame, let's say to the 5 minute, the 1 minute, or the 15 minute, you're letting the market tell you which time frame you need to be trading or looking at and forming your setup each time. I think that there's merit to that, because you're actually letting the market tell you if it's trending strongly, right? And that would be a faster EMA, or if it's slowly grinding up, which is a slower EMA, and at a time frame which is bigger, I mean, right? So that could also be a variable that you could build in your way of using EMAs, letting the market tell you the time frame it is respecting the particular EMA.
True that.
Why can't I find the rectangle?
Alex, did you get the 20 ETH went up yesterday? I missed that, but I got into, again, I was in FTM and I got a 12% move. So I can show you the executions. This is off the Binance.
I did get in on the
You got on the
6%
Bitcoin.
though.
So this was off. This was taken. Where is the fib? This was taken off the EMAs as well. It was taken there. Hit the 50, hit the top of the EMAs, and that's where the entry was. And then I just rode it up to a macro. Let's get rid of all the executions now. A macro push up like here. So where I was looking was I had the test of that 50 on the EMAs. That's one of the reasons why I got in, and then I took it out where that high was. I did take a loss this morning for around about $100 on this particular move because I thought it was going to continue breaking up. I've got another $100 risk on here, but that trade on FTM in general was a really profitable one. So I can look to ride another wave up. What were you saying, Jonatan? Wow. Look at that wick.
Yeah.
Look at that wick.
Okay, see.
Look at that wick.
Okay,
it's a very nice
is
one.
Is that an altcoin?
What's that?
Who wants us to take a look at Naka, Naka?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's not even on any major. Yeah, it's that looks terrible.
Naka.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna see it on here.
Nakamoto Games. Yeah, it's going to continue lower. It's in a massive downtrend. No strength in a market like this means probably not a good thing. There's okay. So GBP USD. I looked at Yeah, so just quickly look at GBP USD.
You might as
we were
you
trading
might
down
as well
here.
show all your forex, because I haven't got any forex positions, and I don't think I'm going to have many forex positions in recent.
Maybe
Yeah,
I can
so
show my graph on EU, because
yeah,
I have something else. I know it is very bearish and it could continue to go down. Let me put mine on. There you go. Is that okay with you guys? What I see is this. Of course, we are in a bullish market structure, right? We've been having these bullish runs, and when it's going down, it's only like correction retraces. So on the this is a daily, right? So we are in a bullish market sentiment, and the question is, how far will this retrace be, right? So far, it's not a big retracement. However, it could continue anytime. So I'm looking for that. When will that happen? Nobody knows, right? So, but if I go to the lower time frames, what I see, if I have this, what I want to be looking is on the lower time frames to identify the demand area and try to see the reversal patterns within that on the even lower time frame. So we do have a bearish daily order block there, and that could be a reason for price as it is doing right now, right, for it to continue lower, because it formed it with these two candles. It formed that order block, and in this candle, it had a rejection of that order block. So that could continue to go down. That makes sense. So I understand the sellers here, and it's a valid entry or side. I mean direction. However, what I'm looking for, because I didn't get in the signal yet on short, what I'm looking for is perhaps to see if it is forming that demand area for a continuation, which may be too early still, but if it's forming it, then I want to be part of it. And what do I see? If I go the lower time frame, this is of course the daily order block, which is forming today, has been functioning, serving as a supply area, but I didn't get the entry. What I do see is this: we still have a demand area below us, and we had a fresh order block on the H4, right? Now, recently, this one isn't fresh, so I'm not going to be looking for entries typically in there. But what I see is, okay, so the H4, remember the higher time frame, the daily market structure makes me think, okay, I want to be getting ready for that long that comes after this or within this consolidation to catch that move that could be even a swing trade. So, and what I identify is, of course, there are more order blocks. There's this bearish one, which is within the daily bearish, and you have another bearish one, and actually you have more than one. You have one just closed right now. So that fills in the argument for a move further down. However, on the long side, this is what I see. I see a demand area, and the demand area is right now, it went straight, it went down very quickly at the close of the hour, right? And now and interacted with a demand area below us, right? It's very early because this is the H4. If we go to, let's say, the H2 and even the H1, right now it looks very bullish, this candle, right? It's a rejection of this order block below us, the H4. But there is still 46 minutes on the hour for this to close. So you cannot trust this blindly, because this could just as well in 30 minutes close as a big bearish bar, and then everything is off the table. It's going to continue lower. However, if you look at the 1 hour order block, what do you see? See that? There's that structure again within that H4. The H1 telling you this is a demand area. So we have an H4 and an H1 telling you this is a great place to buy. And how does price react when it gets there? It reacts, as of now, if you go to the lower time frames, look at that move. It goes quickly, interacts with that order block, and moves away very, very fast. To me, that tells me there are buyers that are willing to buy the market at this area. Will that be enough to turn the market around? We don't know. We'll have to see for the close in 40 something minutes. But if it is, it makes sense that this could be perhaps this is, let me get that straight. You have a low, and perhaps this could be a higher low while it breaks this to make that higher high, and then we're back on track for the continuation move on the higher time frames. Because as we see, we've made a lower high, and this is tricky because what does that lower high mean on the H4? Does it mean we put in a top and we're going to go sideways now, or even bearish? We don't know yet, right? The market hasn't. This is what you were saying. I think yesterday you said this, Alex, that it's kind of tricky now because it's making lower highs and higher lows. Well, at least it didn't do that yesterday yet completely, but now I could see that happening. So I'm just positioning myself for in that case. I already have 3 position on, 2 with EU and 1 with GU, both of them with this narrative in the market. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I lose 3R plus whatever I tried getting in, which is, I think I tried like 3 times, so I would be -6 losses. But since I'm getting in at the source of the demand area, if this goes and continues up, I should be getting something like 37R with those 3 trades. So I'm risking potentially 6 or 7R to get 37. It is not on 1 trade, it's on 3 trades. So it's a little bit different, the calculation. It's not 1 trade going to 37, but in the total portfolio, if you may, or the total setup, the idea is that's the kind of a higher risk reward that I'm looking for. I still don't know if I'm going to be right, but it looks promising as long as this candle closes something similar to what it is now. That's the reaction. That is the market telling us, there is buyers coming into the market. And then let's see how it closes at the end of this H1 bar. Back to you, Jonatan.
Back to you in the studio.
We had a question if
EU's
I don't know.
long month.
Yeah,
Look at it,
I
held
don't know if
held that support.
this is a pennant.
Like crazy.
EU. Is it a pennant? I think it's more of a. Is it a pennant? I think it's more of a symmetrical triangle, which is almost the same thing, but pennant are mostly on the like lower time frames, while the symmetrical triangles are usually on a bit higher time frames and takes a bit longer to play out. I think this is. Doesn't matter though. No, doesn't matter. Well, actually, it's a very good-looking, symmetrical triangle right here.
Perhaps I can show something else.
Where's the top of that? Where's the top of that trend line? What price?
The top of that? What do you mean top of trend line?
We'll scroll in so I can see. Go into the chart a little bit. Okay, so we're at the bottom of that pennant. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I would say it's looks like. And
I'm looking.
If the 1 hour candle could just close below that trend line, this would definitely be. Looks like a break out of this, and it fits with the idea of also that a symmetrical triangle. I think it does tend to like break out around 75% completion, which it kind of looks like it's doing right now. So it would make sense to see this as a possible break of this triangle. But again, I'm not trading triangles like this. What I would do is
problems with these is they have a lot of deviations, or when I've traded them, they've had deviations, and the best trades that I've found are the deviations and then return back into the pattern and then go to the opposite direction. That's probably the best trade set I've found on them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So something like this, you can see that deviation outside. I wouldn't be surprised if it just now goes to the opposite side of the triangle.
Look at my NCD trade. That is nasty. Not like that.
I think if you're trying chart patterns, pennants or flags, I think if you have like specific rules as to how do you draw them, how much how many touches that they need to have, how far the trend line needs to be through to the either to the wick, to the body, or both of them. If you have good rules for that, I think there might I not might I'm quite sure that you could pull edge out of it. But the
Yeah,
thing
I mean
is,
they are profitable. It's
they're very profitable, especially if you use them in a lower time frame to get your entries, and you have a bigger, higher time frame structure. So structure within a structure, or a setup within a setup. Those times are the best ones, I believe. Um, what I wanted
do you
actually,
do you know which pattern is the is one of the most profitable ones? Do you know?
Bro, did you just? He was in the middle of a conversation. He was in the middle of a sentence, man. Let him finish his sentence first.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, Victor. Apologize.
No, to answer your question, I haven't measured them all. So and in my way of thinking, if I haven't measured them, I cannot say like this one is better than the other one, because you need to measure, otherwise you don't know what you're talking about. However, I have found a lot of good trades with flags, bull flags, bear flags, and there's because it's easy to see, it's easy to identify, and it's as the flag is retracing, you're getting a good price to for the continuation. I like that a lot, and I like wedges as well. But I don't trade them in my trade plan, but I see them all the time, and sometimes when I'm discretionary, I do use them, and I know they're very profitable. But what I wanted to say was I will show my and I'll show my screen, which is my MT5. What I was the red line for our discussion of today. The red line is the 13 EMA, and the blue one is the 50 in this case, right? And so you can use the EMAs having the quicker one and a slower one to tell you if it's with the crossover as well. When is it getting bearish or bullish? But what I actually wanted to show is this. To me, this is an indication of the market possibly going to the other way. This is the 13 EMA. Look at how it was all this time. It was below those EMAs, right? It came back and rejected the 50 until it made that move. And after it made that move down, it crosses back, and it no longer is using the 13 and the 50 as a dynamic resistance. If anything, it's flipped. It's now using it as, it looks to be using it as support, because this is the 1 minute. Doesn't mean a lot, doesn't mean it's going to go all the up, but as it breaks back, look at how it reacts to getting to that area. While before it was making rejections candlestick, it gets here, no follow through, gets there, bearish order blocks. While this time it gets this big handle, and it holds and forms bullish structure, and then again bullish structure again here. So, and you can see how let me get, if I have I think it is already on the crosshair. You can see how it touches and it reacts up, touches, reacts up, touches again, reacts up. To me, that is telling me a story. Is it the change, the market participants, it's changed. And all of this is just by reading the EMA, the 13 EMA in this specific case on the 1 minute. And if you look at the 5 minute, we're still not in that phase yet, where we haven't shown, or we're in the process of breaking above it, coming back to it, and retest it, and using it as support. So as you can see, you can read the narrative. Okay, on the 1 minute, we have turned bullish, but on the 5 minute, not yet. And if the 5 as well turns bullish, then you could go to the 15 minute, and you should see the same thing, breaking above and coming back to the 13 EMA and rejecting bullishly or using it as support. That's the way I use EMAs to read the market, how they react to the EMAs. In this case, the 13 EMA, but it could be any other, depending on what the market is doing. Is it going sideways, or is it making impulsive moves? So this is how I use them. which is not part of my trade plan. I don't use them in my trade plan. This is just helping me to, get a reading on the market very
confluence.
quickly. It's a confluence, yes, but
Nice.
but actually not in the trade plan. So it's not a checkbox in my trade plan, but it is for me a confluence. This is confirming, like we have it on the 1 minute. If I go and perhaps put it on the 3 minute, okay, on the 3 minute, I can already see there is, as the market comes to the EMA, it forms a engulfing here. It comes again, another engulfing, and shoots up. So it's, to me, we flipped on the 1 minute. The 3 minute is possibly is doing the same. The 5 minute isn't ready yet. But that's how because the movement in the market, they have a way of developing, right? It doesn't happen just like that. It develops on the lower time frame first, and then that phenomenon, or that can be a reversal, it can be a breakout. It forms on the 1 minute and then goes to the higher time frames, and eventually you'll see it on the 1 hour. And that's the same thing. You can use the reversal patterns. It's the same thing. You can see the reversal pattern on the 1 minute forming, and then it forms something similar on the 5 minute, and so on, going up to higher time frames. By the time it forms the 1 hour time frame, the trade, you should have been in it a long time ago. But that's how I interpret the narrative, the tape reading, right? So from the lower time frames going up to the higher time frames. Yeah, that's what I want to see. That's the only way I use the EMAs. Actually, there's another way. I used to use the 13 EMA as trailing stop. I don't use it anymore. I mentioned it at the beginning. When the market is, let's say, at the beginning and it has made a great run, one of the first signs that it will give you that it's losing steam is by breaking the 13 EMA on the 5 minute again. That's the same one that I mentioned before. And if it still has some room to go, it will use it at resistance and continue. Perhaps we might see it today or some other day. If I remember, I can refer to that. But that's what I wanted to show guys. The how I use the 13 EMA to let me gauge
Nice.
the who's in control of the market, right? And this is separate from the order blocks. Actually, the order blocks is what my foundation of my trading is, but this is telling me the same thing.
Yeah, it's when we talk about the confluences and foundations of strategies, I'm just thinking, like, how would my trading look if I got rid of EMAs and I tried to trade without them? Because they are such an integral piece of knowing the average prices and having it in a visual way, like having it on screen like an EMA, for me is just one of the whole foundations of my whole trading strategy. So definitely, if you never have never looked at the EMAs, I wouldn't look for crosses, but I'd look for dynamic support and resistance. When price crosses above, retests, continuations, those types of trades, revert to the mean types of trades where price is coming down and there's a big gap. Look at that on the 13 minute. There you go. You've seen such a big gap between price and the EMA on Victor's trade station. Now, when there is such a big gap, normally EMAs price likes to attract back to the average price. So you just got to look at it as it's coming back into those EMAs. So if you've got price really far away from the 13 EMA, the first place it's going to hit when it comes back is the 13 EMA. Now, if you've got a 50 as well, and there's a big gap between the 50 and the 13, maybe you would like to take price a bounce off the 13, retrace, go back into a target for the 50. And that's all it is. You're only targeting average prices on that particular time frame that you're in, and it is super, super, super profitable.
Yeah, this trade, we'll have to see if it really turns bullish or not. I will not move my stop loss to break even. If it stops me out, that's the sign of the market that I'm wrong, and I should just leave the setup for what it is. But if it does turn and continue to react to this 13 EMA on the 1, and it start doing that. Look at that wick on the 5 where I have my cursor on. That's what I want to see. Price coming in, touching that 13 EMA from above, right? Because before it was a resistance, but from above, and reacting to it. Close here and perhaps form a bullish order block in the next order block, in the next candle, and continue up. I don't know if that's going to happen. Perhaps it will not happen. But if it does happen, this is what I want to be seeing. It's the same with the order block. You want to have your trade on the lower time frames in confluence with the expectation on the higher time frames. If you see at the H1 on the lower left corner and the H4 here, you can see that in both of them, it's giving you bullish trend, right? The 13 is above the 50 on both of them. So if this turns around, you're catching the continuation on this trend that is already there, right? So this would be just a simple retrace that now turns back into the general bullish position, and let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm this is the 838R, because I'm risking actually this is more than it should be, because my stop loss is calculated a little bit different, but this is, I'm risking $50 per trade here.
That's a gnarly entry, that is, man. Honestly, that's a super nice entry. I've just seen how sniper that is. That is super nice.
Did you just say how many R did you say?
Well, this 38, but
38.
Yeah, with three trades in, so it's not 1 to 38, but it's more like 1 to 12. I mean, 1 to 12 more or less on average.
Well, but, 1 to 12 is fine. I'll take that. You know.
Yeah, but it comes with a low win rate. So you know, it's always easy to say this, but it comes with its the flip side. To get this kind of high risk reward, you lose. I've been losing a loss like 3 or 4 trades to catch this, right? Yeah. So it you know, it's not like this is the only time that this is the only trade I had today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite funny because the higher the risk that you're going, the risk to reward ratio, normally the lower the win rate. And I've seen people in negative that their win rate negative R&R, and then the win rate is 90%, and it really just doesn't matter. Whatever works for you just works, and nobody can tell you how to trade other than yourself. And even when you're looking at us trading, never ever think that our analysis is the right analysis. If you're looking in a trade and you're in a trade and we're going opposite to you, don't think about what we're doing. You carry on and you stay true to yourself or why you went into the trade and why you analyzed the trade, and that's why you got in. Because I know sometimes when new people come inside and they look at us taking trades, and there's reasons why we're taking trades with a certain amount of risk and this, that, and the other. So you continue what you're doing and not change everything up just because of what we're doing.
Someone asked, I believe, before, how do I handle drawdown? Let me see.
Yep.
Losing streaks. I think it was this Ask Jay asking to explain how to manage losing streak in trading briefly. Well, it depends if you're trading discretionary or mechanical. If you're trading mechanical, I would go over all the trades and see if it is the system that is not performing well, or it is you that is not executing the system well, right? And you correct whatever conclusion you get, right? If it is the system, then perhaps you could lower risk because your system is not performing in this market condition, this current market condition. And if it is you, let's say you're missing trades or you're over trading, then you need to correct you, of course. And if it is discretionary, then I would say discretion is a little bit more difficult to correct. But one of the things is, I think we do mention that a lot, is to lower risk, right? Because as you go into a losing streak, you tend to be affected by that fact, right? So you start trading worse, and we all go into. There's no trade system that is without drawdowns. You're gonna have to. So you gotta have to have a way of dealing with that mentally, psychologically. So one of the way is to lower your risk, and that makes it comfortable again for you, because as you go in a drawdown, your stress level will start getting higher, and a stressed out trader is not a good trader, right? And if it keeps on going even lower, you're gonna become a desperate trader. That's even worse, right? That's when you are one step away from going.
Start praying to the trading gods for the price just to come back to your entry.
Yeah.
You start looking. Please.
Start hoping. I just hope that this trade is gonna eliminate a drawdown, but it doesn't work like that. So one of the ways is to, if your discretionary trade is to lower your risk, make it comfortable again, and until you're executing well again. Because if you're executing well, that should that should result in a profitable equity curve, sloping upwards, right? And if it isn't, then you should maybe check your system backtest, perhaps. Check your data if that drawdown is normal for your system, right? So if you have the correct data backing you up, you can assess and see, okay, this is normal. I have this kind of drawdown maybe once or twice a year. It may last. You can have data, so you should have data, so you can say, okay, it lasts typically 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, whatever it is your data tells you. And in between, you should just stay calm and keep executing, because at a certain moment, based on your data, you should be out of your drawdown again. Those are the only ways I know how to deal with drawdowns, is to make sure you're not making it worse by lowering risk, and make sure that you're trading the plan. That's it, I think.
Yeah, it's well said.
Shall I get the giveaway ready?
Yeah, let's get
guys,
the giveaway going.
Yeah, from yesterday as well. I know guys are waiting for their giveaway from yesterday. Don't worry, that is going to get sent out with these guys today.
All right, so everyone who's been asking about their accounts, Alex will, like he has said, he'll get back to you. And I see that we get lots of new people coming into the live stream right now, so make sure that you hit that like button. Remember, the amount of giveaways that we're going to give away is based on the number of likes. We're currently at 505, and I'm pretty sure we should be able to get that number up to at least 600 by the end of this live stream to give away 6 accounts. So make sure, guys, if you're coming in, like the video. It's a small gesture from you, but it does help us quite a lot to get the like numbers up. So we did have someone in the comments asking about USD CAD. So I'm just going to show my trade that I have on USD CAD. First, I want to show the overall high time frame idea. So we're in the range here. We entered this range. It's a high time frame range. This is on the weekly. We've entered this trade on September 2022. We get the range EQ area right here. We had a breakout. We're now retesting that breakout area right here. You can see on the daily, it's a clear level. It's a cleanly retest on the daily as well. And adding the fibs, you see that we came down. We hit the mid zone of the reload zone perfectly. I basically went long when I saw that we started getting this move higher. So around that area is when I went long, and now with the CAD CPI numbers, we had that push it upside. So if you're not in a trade here, but you're looking to maybe go long in USD CAD, I would be looking at a reaction around that level. It would be a similar trade that I'm in, but I think the risk to reward is actually going to be much better. So my trade is a 3R. This idea here would be a almost 4R. I think that's actually valid. A valid trade. So that's on USD CAD, and I want to talk about a few other ones that I'm looking at. We got GBP AD. We looked at this one yesterday, so we did break above that level yesterday, and I still think we are. It's a good opportunity, at least for me here, to potentially go long down on the retest of this level. So the idea from the weekend was basically I wouldn't see a break and retest of this level. We had the break. We never really had a proper retest, but looking at the lower time frames, if we do have a reaction here, and at the FIPS as well, we'll see that it's if we come down and test the 0.618, the 50 might be in a good position as well. Yeah, so the 50 is right here. If we come down and we have a nice reaction inside this area, I would consider going long like this, depending on what the risk to reward is going to be. But I'm looking for perhaps a 2R or something like that down in this area. But that's what I'm looking at probably later today or tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. And then we got, what do we have? Yeah, NCD CHF. This is going to be a trade probably at the end of the week or next week. We had CAD CHF. We're coming down and retesting a interesting area here on CAD CHF. And I'm looking to take a long here. It's basically break and retest the range EQ up to the highs. I would be using the local high here as TP. Now I would want to see price come down lower because we got the 50 down here. So looking at the 1 hour, I don't know, like I would like price to come a bit lower. So I do have an alert down here, and best case scenario is we get something like this, and I'll be able to enter something like this or a 2R trade or something like that. And then we got GU, the one that Victor went long on. It's a very nice entry, but that one obviously we never broke down. GBP NCD, this is one I'm currently watching. I do like the fact that we're coming up and we're testing the reload zone here. And see on the daily. Yeah, I'm not too confident in this, but I do feel like if we can get a break below this area and maybe a retest, I'd be taking this lower. So I'm just gonna put alerts down here. So right now I feel like GBP, AUD, NCD, CHF, no, CAD, CHF. So I'm gonna move NCD, CHF, and GBP, USD down to the second list. I'm gonna keep these ones on. So these are the 3 ones that I'm looking for potential trades on. And then we have these open right now. Oh,
the link is in the Gleam thing, mate.
All right.
The Gleam is in the private chat.
Yeah. What's the code?
The code is in there, EMA, the original.
EMA. Nice.
EMA.
Okay.
Would have
Perfect.
that.
Yeah, who would have thought that?
All right, so we got the giveaway link and the code is in the pinned comments. Let's get that number, those like numbers up. We have about 15 minutes left to get about 40 likes. So 40 likes in 15 minutes should not be a problem. So let's get that number up, guys. So hit that like. Yeah, I think I've been quite active in trading yesterday and today, which it kind of feels like I might be not over trading, but I feel like I'm.
Oh, you're a swing trader. You're definitely over trading.
Yeah. I think I am. I feel like I'm.
Don't go back into the same routine as trying to trade like you were trading at the start with trading on lower time frames, because at the end of the day, I remember when we first started doing this, you wanted you know, you wanted to have the same kind of activity as, you know, Victor and I, because we trade lower time frames, and unfortunately you kind of try to put yourself into that place and forcing yourself, but that's not the way that you trade, you know. And we preach all the time to everybody to trade the way that you are, trade your so honestly, mate, if you feel like you're over trading, you probably are, because you sit in trades. I can never sit in trades like you can sit in trades. I honestly, mate, I'm looking at my phone every 10 minutes. Girlfriend can't even talk to me. You know, it's absolutely awful. But so I'm not gonna try it, you know. So don't do the same as well, because I'm sure it's probably causing you a lot less stress, and it'd probably put you on tilt as well if you do that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. By the way, guys, you don't have to mention, you don't have to put EMA in the comments. We don't have to put EMA in the comment. All you have to do, is hit the like. Hit the like. Yeah, no, I think that's an important point. You know, where I definitely felt yesterday that, you know, I need to look at the screens less, you know, and spend probably actually, like today I felt like maybe it's best if I just take the whole day off from trading, you know, because it's not that my results are bad. Like I'm not, you know, I think I'm on the close trades. I should be in profit this week. It's just that I feel like, you know, the feelings that I'm feeling now, or the, you know, the ideas that I'm getting now, all of those feelings, they come before a drawdown, you know, like maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. And then you take a trade that you're not supposed to take, and then you take another one that you're not supposed to take, and then you start stressing, and then all of a sudden you're in the situation that you're trying to, you know, not be in. So I think it's important that when you start figuring out, like what you're not sure what's wrong, you know, that there's something wrong, but you're not sure what's wrong. Then yeah, no, the reason
the drawdown
low is that I was on a run, like a 5K run, and I did it under 30 minutes, which is like, that's pretty good for me.
That's very good.
Very
that's
quick.
Above 10K per hour, 10 kilometers per hour. So that's
a fast pace, man.
It is pretty fast. 6 minutes per
I was doing 7K, I think, in 40 minutes when I was in the army, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that was fast.
That is fast, though. That is fast.
Yeah. But it's the same kind of pace that you were doing, man. It's fast.
It is fast, and it also depends on the
terrain.
Terrain. I was just doing tarmac today,
mate. Honestly,
but I think
shoots up, man. Look at that.
Yeah. I was gonna say something. I know what I want to say about this, but I think I wanted to say something else. Oh yes, I remember now. You said something very key that comes with doing it, having done that very often, which is that you're picking up things in your behavior or in your train of thoughts that typically, from your experience, tell you that they come before the drawdown. And I think that those are insights that you might get from doing journaling, right? Because in your journaling, you can go back and see, okay, how was my in what mental place was I right before or at the beginning of the drawdown? And that is knowing yourself, right? Knowing how you start thinking and how your level mindset starts eroding into something that is not profitable. And I think that is the next, like the higher, after you have a technical edge, that is the next challenge. The challenge is to recognize when you should be, you know, putting more attention to the mental part, the psychological part. And that's quite difficult. I think perhaps it's probably more difficult than your strategy, because your strategy, you can just change the rule and that's it. Or you can look for in your data what you should change and just change it. And going forward, not, you know, make that mistake again if you have a trade plan in your discipline. But with your psychology, it's much more trickier. So I
Yeah.
think it's like a snowball effect, right? When you say, okay, I'm trading more often than I should, or at least I feel like I'm doing so, and then what comes next? Losses, and then I'm trading perhaps even more frequently, and then it starts snowballing into something ugly. Okay,
Can I
what I wanted to say.
isn't this absolutely nuts? Before you go into that, look
I
at
saw that
where
confidence. That's insane.
I'm
That's
just like
that's
I'm
insane.
like
That's the 50 and 21, right? That's
that's a
crazy.
20. What, like, honestly, you got a 50 fib, you've got that.
Yeah,
Just
and we just talked about
that is
EMAs as well. It's insane.
ridiculous, man. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, carry on, Vic.
I'm going to put my screen. Yeah. What I when I started when I came in at the trading session on GU, I spoke about EU, but on GU, this is what I was looking for, or what I was looking at. We had a bullish order block, right? Remember, we have on the higher time frames, we also have the same as EU, because of course both of them are dollar pairs and they're very high correlated. You have that bullish market structure. So when like this, you obviously you want to be catching on a retracement of such a trend to ride it as it continues. And so at the beginning of the day, we had this now, isn't it, this is the bullish order block that we had at the beginning of the day. We had already interacted with it previously. This was yesterday at no, actually it was during Asian session this week. And I start looking, okay, if we're going to continue to go up, I would say, where is the order block that will tell me where the market will bounce? And on the H2, I had two order blocks that if I merge them, they become even wider than the H4. So that didn't help me. I have it marked, but I know that's not going to help me. Then I had my H1 after it had already interacted with the H4, and it was this order block, which didn't actually hold price. And this is where I was buying GU already. This is where I lost, I think, 3 or 4 trades. And this is separate from the entry that I took, because actually this is the area from this yellow horizontal line where my cursor is right now until this area. This is given by the H1 and the H2. This is the whole area that I expect price to be forming that reversal pattern on the lower time frames. And if you go to if you look at, this is the this order block on let me go to the daily so you can see it. We have a bullish order block that we came very, very close to it, but we did not touch it. Technically, I consider that we did not interact with it yet, but that is exactly where price reversed from. Currently, we don't know yet if this is still a reversal, although the reaction is quite nice, I must say. So it came down maybe a pip or so before the end of this order block. This is 86.2, and the low of this is 86.4. So only 2 pipettes after, and when it hit that area, it had that reaction we saw on EU. And if we go to the lower time frames, like the one, you can see that that's the wick, and this is the daily order block, right? This is the demand area on the daily time frame. Now, the question I have is, are we forming a reversal pattern, a quasi, from this area? Because the entry I had was a discretionary area. It wasn't a signal of my typical quasi. If I do this, this is the quasi neckline. We broke the neckline, and I'm looking for price to come back, perhaps maybe to some structure below here, or actually I should adjust the fib to this, right? At a certain moment, I expect price to, or not I expect, but this is how the setup goes. I expect price to come back to some order block, and that will be my entry signal. Either it could be this, it could be something else that I see there to the left, right? And to get this on, while doing it, if you look at the H4, what do we see? If we look at the H4, if this is going to move my way, it will close as a engulfing, right? It is showing right now. It's showing it's showing engulfing already, right? And if it's going to work and just continue from here, we're going to have an engulfing on top of the first one that I identified this morning. So that places me at a good position to keep this open much longer than my typical trades, which are only for a couple of hours. Because now I have the higher time frames telling me that this is, getting ready to push much higher. Yeah, so this is how I approach the GU trade. But GU and EU, they both are telling me the same thing. There's a possible reversal here to the upside.
It's funny that my EMAs are just EMAs and fibs are just what makes the world run. You wouldn't have banks, hospitals without the fib and the EMA. It is just look at this. I've added twice now into this position. I added an extra 2,000 contracts here. Look where it hit. 66. A 66 fib. Like, what a reaction to that. It's absolutely fantastic. Like, literally, it is.
So I'm going to take a short on Bitcoin.
You're taking a short on Bitcoin. What are you doing?
Well, look at this.
What is this? What is this blasphemy? Okay, yeah, that does look short.
It's a range highs.
That does look short. That does not look good for if I'm in a long position on FTM. Ooh.
Yeah.
But
decisions.
This what time frame is this? This is the 1 hour and okay, in 3 minutes it's gonna close. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a
like this. It looks a little
5
bit
minute.
scary.
Not a 5 minute, a 1 minute. That I was looking for that. You had a really nice reaction off that 1 minute.
But if you look at the rest of the move, that move up is much more significant than this engulfing. I'm
gonna have a look at the order book, Bitcoin. Yeah, well, that reaction from that fib didn't really last very long. Had a really nice reaction, but it didn't last. If Bitcoin is breaking down like that, maybe I'm gonna weird out of my my position.
I think it's gonna break down. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna break down. And you do not want to be long altcoins while Bitcoin is breaking down.
There is
figure out the
you were
position size here.
asking me if one is trading the H1, should I also draw OBs on the H4 and the OBs being order blocks? Yes, I believe so, because you need to recognize which one, what structures are relevant to you, and anything above the time frame you're trading is relevant, right? Because if it is stronger, even if you don't see it on your time frame, it has even more power to move price. So I would say yes, you should be aware of H4 daily for sure, because as you just as I showed, the price comes to those demands and supply areas on the higher time frames and react to them. And you might not be, if you don't have them marked, you don't know, any possible structures that might change price's direction. So I would say yes.
Yeah. Jonatan, don't short Bitcoin here, please. Please.
Nah, I just placed my orders for that.
For a short?
Yeah.
Let me know how that goes out for you. Let's just have a look at what kind of reactions we're gonna get soon. All right, this is on a 618 and 66 fib. Let's see, and you've got obviously the EMA right underneath as well. Let's see if this actually breaks down. I want to see how many orders.
We have Michael in the comments asking about entries for the Gleam. He says he only have one entries, but he's been here for the last six sessions. I don't know anything about Gleam, so I can't really help with that.
How many things are you doing? Are you doing the other missions in the You can't just have one entry. That's it's unheard of. In the history of Gleam, I've never just seen one entry.
Yeah, it's a bit low. We'll see.
Oh yeah. I want to see.
Yeah, okay.
what
The 1 hour,
Bitcoin's
the 1 hour candle is closing nicely on Bitcoin. We do have a break of the range. So what I'm looking at here is, if you look at Bitcoin, you have basically what happens is you have a big impulse move to the upside, hit the resistance, range highs, create a low time frame range, and now what we're seeing is a possible break and retest of the range. Stops is above the range highs, and then TP is back at the back down at the breakout area. I'm actually front running the breakout area quite a lot, but it's still a 3.45 hour trade. So to me, it's worth it, because if you look at Bitcoin, you might say like, oh, Bitcoin is super bullish. Yeah, it's sure, but it's been in this range since the 1 month back. So 2 months back, three months.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't think it's coming
4
down,
months.
honestly, mate. I think Bitcoin is going to stay in a range around about the 70 mark. I don't think it coming down below 70 at the moment.
No, okay.
Oh, I think I've just
we'll
poked
see.
myself in the eye. Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
gosh. I just poked myself in the eye, and I can't stop rubbing it.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. All right, guys. I think we're
Should we
currently at.
do it?
Yeah, let's do the giveaways. Let's do the giveaway.
Somebody want to tell me what gold is doing?
Gold. Yeah, let's talk about gold.
Yeah,
Gold
gold.
is not doing much, to be fair. It's still in a massive uptrend. Had that retest on the 4 hour. Yeah, I don't know. Like, gold it's to me is in a range with like bearish characteristics here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on gold.
On what time
honestly.
frame?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because on the daily, it's breaking bearish structures and closing yesterday. It closed outside of them, and it took out the last high, which was at 24.31. And there's the after breaking that high, a little retracement is just normal. Nothing bearish about that until it consolidates and continues, like that break and retest strategy of yours, Jonatan. But on the 4 hourly, it looks consolidating healthily, but I wouldn't say bearish at all. No, actually, there's a trend line you could make from the last high of Monday, yesterday, and it's now breaking out of it. If you connect those,
maybe you could pull up your screen and show it while Alex gets the giveaway going.
Yeah, if you look at the higher time frames, the daily, what I see is that yesterday it broke a bearish structure, and before that it already had broken. I didn't look at gold since I don't trade it, but it's breaking bearish structures, and it is forming on its way. It's forming bullish structure. So to me, I wouldn't say at all. I would say this is healthily. This is gone, right? So now you're breaking bearish structures. It looks bullish from here, and on the H4, what I see is that market is trying today, hasn't done that yet, since remember the H4 hasn't closed yet, but it looks to me like it's breaking that that chart pattern again to continue higher, and that makes total sense in if you consider higher time frames. And if you go to lower time frames, you see the same. Basically, there's nothing really. I would say sideways is a good bet from here, since it just broke the high. It might continue, but probably is going to continue sideways for a little while before it continues to go. Has that follow through continuation on the higher time frames. Yeah, that's what I would say. I wouldn't short this at all. This doesn't look like a short at all.
No, I don't think it's a short. It's looks a bit a Bitcoin.
This is BTC. Yeah, this is Bitcoin. I see that engulfing, but it hasn't closed yet. yeah, it has made it depends on how long you're going to be holding that too, right? If it's just a retracement you're going for, then I can see it happening.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hold that for very long. I mean, all this bullishness, this could be just a reload zone, not your typical reload zone, but I mean a place where buyers start buying again. Why not? Where the shorts start getting in, buyers get in, and it pushes, it continues for a second move up. So yeah, it's having a great run though, I must say.
Right now, it looks like
And GU
my
is just
short orders are
BTC.
my short orders are getting. You know, I'm just gonna market enter here. Yeah, just gonna market enter here.
There is a support area here that the market is reacting quite nicely to it. I see that too. It's on the 1 minute. I'm sorry, on the 1 hour. If you see that, there's like another one, and there's another one here. Yeah, I can see that forming like a ceiling, but it does not really convince me. I mean, this could be just liquidity for it to continue higher, because there's going to be by every time the market has rejected this area, there's going to be stops above it. So that could be just a fire or gasoline for combustion, for a push higher. In the case it continues to go, but I see the price action you're referring to. If it closes, especially if it closes on the H4, it could have a nice retracement. You have all this area that people might have been with weak hands buying into. Late to the party, they will get stopped out, and price can maybe retrace to some demand area below us. That makes perfect sense. Although the fundamentals on Bitcoin, I think, are very bullish, aren't they?
Yeah, I looked. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a Bitcoin bull. Fundamentally, I think Bitcoin is very bullish. But what I'm doing now is I'm not trading fundamentals at all. I'm spot long Bitcoin. I've been spot long Bitcoin since I think 7 years back, and I filled up a pretty massive bag at around 20K.
What's your target for coming weeks or days or months in this cycle?
Oh, I don't know. Like I'm up, higher, up. I don't really look at a price target, but I do have, like, in the back of my head, I do have 100K as a decent target of mine. But I'm looking at on-chain metrics when to sell. I'm not really interested in price when it comes to selling Bitcoin long term. I'm more interested in looking at on-chain metrics like specific on-chain indicators like MBE, what is the MVRVC score and things like that. I might show that tomorrow. I'm gonna ask Dirk if he wants to come up tomorrow, and maybe he'll show some talk about on-chain Bitcoin stuff.
Nice. Yeah, Dirk is always insightful with his crypto fundamentals.
But let me show you
Well,
what
I've been muted this whole time.
Yeah, I've been looking at you, and I'm like, is he talking to us? Anyway, so I look at Bitcoin here, and that wick right there, I kind of felt like I saw that wick, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna get in. But right now, what I'm seeing here is technically, I think this looks really good for a move lower. I'm gonna secure this trade early though. This is not a set and forget, because it makes no sense to, like, I'm shorting in my what I'm thinking is, like, this is one of the most bullish assets of the of the century, right? So I think to short this without securing it early is not a good idea. So what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I have confirmation on this, on the 4 hour, and then maybe another 4 hour to the downside, I'll just secure the trade, because chances are that it's just gonna fly.
All right, I wanna show something as a follow up on what I talked about before. Yeah, that's my screen. Remember, for those who were present when I was talking about how I led the EMA like confirm or be the confluence on my actual system, which is not based on at all on EMAs. I was saying that before you will see the price action or just price respecting the EMAs on the lower time frames, and if you're going to be right, if the setup is reversing, then it will start doing that as well on the higher time frames, right? I said on the 1 minute, and it started doing it on the 3 minute, and at that moment it wasn't doing it yet on the 5 minute. But I was saying, let me put my cursor on here, I was showing how prices respecting very neatly at the beginning of this reversal, right? This is the 1 minute, and the red line is the 13 EMA, and price comes in and starts forming those bullish order blocks right when it touches it, right? It's not perfect, but I do see how it neatly reacts to them. That's the first beginning on the M1, right? After that, of course, it didn't do that anymore. But that's the thing. You gotta know that it's not going to be perfect. If we go to the 3 minutes, we start seeing that as well. It wasn't as nice as the 1 minute. You had these wicks that did go below, but it was not able to close below for 1 and 2 like swing lows. Here it did close below, but this to me is like confirmation. You had it on the 1 minute first, and now you had it after that. You had it on the 3 minute, where it starts respecting, not perfectly, but it starts reacting to that 3 minute EMA. 13 EMA on the 3 minute. And if we go to the 5 minute, when I mentioned it, it wasn't having anything to do with the 5 minute yet. But as we now can see, now it had a couple of wicks, but none of them were able to close below that 13 EMA. What does that tell me? That market, as it comes down and it leaves that wick, that the buyers are coming in. In other words, they are, buying that 13 EMA perhaps. I don't know, maybe algos, who knows? But it doesn't matter what the actual reason is. The fact is, it is reacting on it also, not only in the 1, the 3, but now also on the 5. And what does it do? It, as I see that, it is reacting and pushing, looking this big bar, to me it's the confirmation of the flip, right? So it was before, it was the 13 EMA was resistance, and to me this is where it is being support. And that is how you can say, okay, this trade is developing in my direction. Of course, you can see your P&L that goes up because it is doing what you expect it is doing. But when you read this in the market, and as this is happening, you keep on reading the same thing. And the next step, for example, now is going to the 15 minutes. Now before it wasn't reacting at all on the 13 EMA on the 15 minutes. So this is not the time frame to be looking. As you can see, it was breaking above it, breaking below it, breaking above it. So it isn't, the 15 minute will not be able to confirm something. We'll have to go something much bigger. I don't know which time frame, but yeah, I don't see anything else. So it's only on the lower time frames. But this is very, very nicely how it transforms from a bearish market and the lower time frames to a bullish one. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to show.
Okay, let's get the giveaway ready. Let's get this party started, okay?
Yeah, we just got five likes left. All right, guys, 5 likes. 5 likes, and we got 6, 7. All right. A couple of more likes, guys. Got this. 3 more likes. All right. 1 more. 1 more.
You can do it, guys.
7. All right, let's pull it up to 600. Let's go. 700. All right, there we go. 705. All right, let's go. 7 accounts. How many? Yeah, all right, good.
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight.
Nice. Good stuff.
Wow, I'm actually exhausted. I don't know why.
Me too, man. I feel tired today, but that's not weird though. We're not running. I took a cigar after the run, dude. That's not a good idea though.
No, it's good for cardio. Good for cleaning out your lungs after a horrible run. Not very good for you running.
Quick little detox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
right,
Junior
guys.
is breaking out. But congratulations on those winners.
Yeah. Congrats, guys. We are back tomorrow for more trades, more analysis, more giveaways,
More trolling.
What? More what?
Trolling.
And more trolling. All right, guys,
More
that's it. Let's see how
later.
that Bitcoin short is holding up tomorrow. I have a feeling that it's not gonna be great. Let's see.
See you
It is
later.
what it is. All right, guys. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Till tomorrow.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here.